Everybody to the Town of Babylon Zoning Board of Appeals, please listen to the rules and procedures that will follow for tonight's meeting.
Good evening, and welcome to tonight's meeting of the Town of Babylon Zoning Board of Appeals. The following is the procedure that will be followed tonight. The matters will be called in the order they appear on the calendar, with adjourned matters being called at the end of the regularly scheduled matters. Matters cannot be heard prior to their published scheduled time. When your matter is called, please submit the affidavit of posting to the secretary and proceed to the podium and give your name and address. The chairperson will then swear you in and read into the record information we have from your application, comments from various town departments, and any correspondence received on your application. The chairperson will then ask you to make whatever presentation you wish to make to the board. After you have made your presentation, the board will ask whatever questions the board deems appropriate, and then we will ask for comments from the public. If you wish to speak for or against an application, we ask that you wait until you're acknowledged. Come forward, give us your name and address, tell us where your property is in relation to the property that's in question tonight, and then please direct your comments to the board, not the applicant or the applicant's representative. We have to keep a record, and we cannot do that if there are people talking over each other or cross conversations. If someone has spoken for or against an application, and they have said exactly the same thing that you wish to say, it will have the same force and effect in the record if you give your name and address, are sworn in, and say that you join in those comments. If you have anything additional to say, please don't hesitate to do so, but keep in mind that you will be given only one opportunity to speak. After the public has spoken, the board may ask the applicant to come back to answer any questions that may have come up as a result of the public comments, or for the applicant to summarize. When the applicant comes back to answer any additional questions, if that happens, that does not start a second round of public comments. Once the matter has been heard, various things may occur. The board may decide the application immediately. It may reserve decision. If the board reserves decision, that does not mean the matter is approved or denied. It just means that the board needs more time to decide, may want to go out and look at the site again, or might want to review the documents and testimony further before making a decision. In either event, the applicant will receive the board's decision in writing shortly after the board makes its decision. If the application is approved, that does not mean that you can then go ahead and start construction or whatever it is that you requested from the board. You will have to wait for the building permit to be obtained from the building department before your go-ahead. On some occasions, the matter may be continued for another night. If it is continued, in most cases it will be for the submission of documents, a new survey, new plans, or something of that nature. If that's the case, no one needs to come back on the new date. The documents will be submitted and no further testimony will be taken. On rare occasions, a matter may be continued for future testimony. If that's the case, then people would have to come back to testify. If matters are adjourned at an open meeting on the scheduled date of hearing, no further notice need be given unless specifically required by the board on the date the adjournment is granted. 3 rules that may affect your ability to proceed tonight. 1. If the sign was not posted for 10 days, we cannot hold the hearing tonight. 2. If you commence this proceeding while you own the property, but no longer own the property, and you are here now to continue with the application, you will need either the written consent of the new owner or the new owner to be present for the hearing. This situation could come about if you sold your house or building, money was held in escrow at closing for a certificate of occupancy or permit, and you're here tonight to clear that up. Lastly, if your application is a commercial application and it's other than a renewal, and there is more than one tenant in the building, then you need your landlord to be here. Is there any applicant that has any difficulty with those situations and would need an adjournment tonight?
Is there anyone who would need an adjournment? Please rise and join the board in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First application is application 23048 of Michael and Adrian Buckley, property located in Copake. Name and address for the record.
My name is Chris Alvino. I work for Harold Gebhard Architect, 363 North Wellwood Avenue, Lindenhurst.
Okay, and do you affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, I do.
For the record, we have a Planning Division memo dated April 27, 2023. Environmental Control Memo dated May 1st, 2023. If approved, this application will not result in significant impact. A survey by Michael K. Wicks dated July 1st, 2020. Tax map acting as an area map.
Mr. Chairman, we have 4 photographs.
Okay. Would you like to tell us about the application?
Yes. Here with me is Mike and Adrian Buckley and their family. We're looking to make the house a little bit bigger and add some bedrooms, get a little bit more space. We're not really building outside the envelope too much here. There are two things I'd like to point out, 2 mistakes on the Planning Division memo. It says here, the proposed addition lends itself to an illegal accessory apartment. There is a west side entrance into a foyer. That's really the east side where that entrance is. And it goes on to say that it leads to stairs to the second floor and to the basement. It's really to the first floor and to the basement. That little landing there does not lead to the second floor. So I just want to make those two changes. In the 70s, I believe this house was a 2-family, but it's since their ownership, it has not been used as a 2-family. And the Buckleys don't intend on using it as a 2-family. This is just to gain a bedroom, so all the children can have their own bedroom, and which is pretty clear in the plans. We're dressing up the front a bit with a reverse gable, and that's our application.
Okay. I neglected, I need to amend this application too, just on, well, in connection with the erection of a 2-story addition and a proposed new front roofed over porch. And on number 1, we need to add 4 proposed roof over porch.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. With the stair, oh yeah. Well, the stair encroachment actually was there, okay, with the stair encroachment.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're saying these stairs going, looks like the west
The
side?
entrance is on the east side, not on the west side. And it leads to a small landing about the size of this podium. And it goes down, and it goes up to the first floor, down to the basement and up to the first floor, not to the second floor and basement. There it is.
So there is no consideration for an accessory apartment here? This is
Nope.
strictly to make the,
For the family.
okay. Are you also aware that there are covenants and restrictions in regards to a single-family dwelling, owner-occupied, no accessory apartments?
Sure.
Okay, so you know, they exist. I'm not asking to put them on, they exist.
We have no
Okay,
issue with
so
that.
I just want people to realize that, that's all.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So just talk to me about the second floor, the study.
Well, the second floor has the master bedroom up front. Then it has 2 bedrooms behind that and a study. That's the study is towards the rear of the house, which is the south. We're making the kitchen a little bit bigger. We have an existing bedroom that's down there now, so this house will have 4 bedrooms, which is what they need. Right now, I mean, you can see the kitchen. If you look at the first floor plan, you see how small the kitchen is. We've moved the bathroom that's there in the center. You see it dotted there, right behind the kitchen. We've dotted it. We moved it towards the back of the house, so the bathroom's not right in the kitchen. And now it's not, when you open the door, you're not directly in the kitchen. And we gained a lot of storage space in the kitchen, which is what they desperately need. And by doing the second level, we've gained the amount of bedrooms they need. So it's pretty clear cut what we're looking to do here and why we're looking to do it.
It's going straight up on the, basically on the existing?
Correct.
Okay, I have no further questions. Any other questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? The record, there are none.
Yes. Good.
I make a motion to approve application 23048. As amended, yes.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Good luck.
Thank you so much. Enjoy the weekend.
Yeah.
Take care, it's good to see you. Good luck.
Next application is application 23049A, property located at it's 1316 West Babylon LLC, property located in West Babylon.
Evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. For the applicant, Joseph F. Bazell, Blander and Visconti, 535 Broad Hollow Road, Suite B4 in Melville.
Okay. For the record, we have a planning division memo dated May 1st, 2023, environmental control memo dated May 3rd, 2023. If we were to approve this application, it would need a negative declaration, a survey, dated January 27, 2021. That is on the existing house, and then there's a survey of the proposed house with the existing house, also dated January 27, 2022. Tax map acting as an area map, and,
There are no photographs.
okay, what would you like to tell us about the application?
The property is located on 6th Street in West Babylon. We're here seeking a single variance concerning an existing condition of an existing house related to a two-lot subdivision, which will provide two fully conforming 100 by 100-foot lots. The lots have 200 feet of frontage on 6th and 100 feet of depth, or 20,000 square feet in area, or half a builder's acre. They are zoned Residence B. Properties were created by the map of Ezra Park on June 18, 1928. The property is improved with a 1.5-story home in the westerly portion of the lot. It was issued a building permit in 1948 and a CO in 1950. There was an extension in 1959, which I believe is the open permit the planning department has referenced in the memo. This is kind of the first I've heard of that, but we will take care of that following up on the hearing. The house was built with a 26-foot front yard setback in 1950. We propose subdividing to create two lots, each 100 by 100. Other than that one variance for the existing front yard setback of the existing house, no other variances are required. The lots conform to Residence B requirement, 10,000 square feet. With 100 feet of frontage, it actually provides more than the required 80. The new home will meet all setback requirements: front yard, rear yard, side yard, total side yard, height, and parking. The existing house has more side yard than required, 44.7 on the west and 26.1 on the east. It's a modest house, 29 feet 2 inches wide. It more than complies with total side yard as well. The front yard of 26 is an existing condition. As to the rear yard, I spoke to the board's counsel earlier today. The rear yard comes from section 21384 of the code, which says that while 40 feet is required in the case of a lot having a depth of less than 125 feet, but not less than 100 feet. A single-family dwelling may be erected or altered, provided that the rear yard is not less than 25. Residence B presumes an 80 by 125-foot lot, of which Babylon has virtually none. The street-to-street distance in the town is generally 200 feet, not 250. So most lots are 100 feet deep, thus the exception that was written into Section 21384 of the code, which would allow 25. Here we have 35.8. Single variance concerning an existing condition on an existing house going back 72-plus years. The existing open building permit will be investigated and resolved with the building department. The covenants and restrictions and conditions are acceptable to my client. I will not read them one by one in the interest of brevity.
Thank you.
But it's a very simple application, and the lots will be 100 by 100s.
Turn the hearing over to Ms. McCullough.
Well, thank you. So I just really have one question regarding the basement, the cellar entrance on the,
I asked my client about that. The basement is storage.
it's just storage, no
It's just
habitable
storage.
space.
No, the cellar entrance was there when they purchased the property.
Perfect. And the new property that you guys plan to, the proposed property, are you selling that property? What's the plans for that?
The new home will be sold,
It will be sold.
correct.
Okay. I have no further questions.
Any other questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none. Oh, yeah.
And I need to amend this. Did you amend it?
Doesn't need it, yeah, it doesn't need it.
Okay. So I make a motion to adopt a negative declaration for application 23-049A.
Second.
All in favor?
I'm good? All right, I make a motion to approve application 23-09A.
Second.
All in favor?
049.
C's and R and C.
As what? Say that again.
Covenant restrictions and
Oh, yeah.
With the recommended covenants and restrictions and conditions.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank
Okay.
you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
And conditions.
Next application is application 23047 of 1948 DPA LLC, property located in Deer Park. I'd just like to make an announcement before we begin. Mr. Farrell is a former member of this board. Is there anybody on the board that feels that they need to adjourn because of that? No? Okay. Name and address for the record.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. For the applicant, my name is John Farrell. I'm with the firm of Sonward, Braff, and Koblenz. Our offices are at 1300 Veterans Memorial Highway, Suite 100, Hop Hog, New York.
For the record, we have a Planning Division memo dated May 1st, 2023, Environmental Control memo dated May 1st, 2023. If approved, this application will not result in significant impact. Suffolk County Planning memo dated April 26, 2023, a decision of local determination. Take no position for or against. I guess this is a survey by William Theodore Whipple, dated June 7, 2021. A site plan by Joseph Deal, last dated March 9, 2023. Tax map acting as an area map. And
Chairman, we have 5 photographs.
would you like to tell us about the application?
Sure, the subject property is located on the west side of Deer Park Avenue, about 454 feet south of Nichols Road. It's got 175 feet of frontage on Deer Park Avenue and about 230 feet or so depth on the either side of the property line. Total lot area of just over 41,000 square feet, so it's less than an acre in size. It's located in the E-Business zoning district. Presently, it's improved with a 3,600 square foot building that was formerly used as a Chase Bank with a drive-through. The bank closed several years ago and sold the property to my client. My client's been searching for a new tenant for a couple of years now, and he finally landed Northwell Health. We're here tonight seeking a variance from the parking requirements for medical office. There will be no expansion of the existing footprint, though the conversion will involve utilization of the basement level for medical office. At the present time, Northwell intends to operate the site with an OBGYN and an internist, but that may be subject to change based on the programmatic needs of the hospital system. The memo notes how many offices and exam rooms and so forth are in the building, so I won't bore you with those details. But the change of use necessitates an increase in the number of required parking stalls. As the board knows, the bank requires, a bank requires 1 space per 150 square feet. In this case, the bank required 24 spaces for the first floor, and the basement level was counted at 1 for 700 because it was used for storage, so they only needed 30 spaces. Medical office requires 1 space per 150 square feet, plus 1 for every employee. Northwell intends to have a total of 4 physicians to start with 14 support staff for a total of 18 employees. However, it wants to be proactive and prepare for growth. They believe at full capacity, the site will have 5 physicians and 20 support staff for a total of 25 employees. So the variance technically isn't needed today, but it will probably be needed over the next 5 years because of the growth of the practice. Based on the code's parking requirement, using the 2 levels, it's 7,200 square feet. 1 space per 150 square feet means we need 48 spaces for the square footage, and then plus the 25 employees means we need a total of 73 parking spaces. If you look at the site plan, it's been reconfigured from what it presently is, and they have a total of 64 spaces on site. The town's traffic engineer, outside consultant on this project, was Cameron Engineering Associates. They prepared a memo in March of 2023, and in that memo, they note that we believe the parking variance can be justified based on the Institute of Transportation Engineers Parking Generation Manual, which projects a need for 33 spaces for a 7,200 square foot medical office. We offer no objection to the required variance. Based on the ITE manual, we have nearly 2 times the amount of parking required for the medical office. One other thing for the board to consider is that the owner of this property also owns the 2 adjoining shopping centers. This property is basically right in the middle of the CVS shopping center and I think it's a ShopRite now. It's changed supermarkets a couple of times. So they will be providing cross-access, and if needed, they will be allowed to utilize the parking. We don't believe it will be necessary to utilize that parking, though, at this time. We believe that the site provides sufficient parking. So if the board has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Thank you. Turning hearing over to Mr. Kretschmer.
Good evening.
Good evening.
You answered a good portion of my questions about employees and cross-access parking. Could we get a written agreement that our town attorneys could look over?
Sure.
As far as the cross-access parking from one lot to the other?
We could provide a cross-parking agreement if the board wants to make it a condition of the approval. That wouldn't be a problem.
Okay. And also, hours of operation?
It'll be typical medical office hours, probably 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday, and then Saturday will probably be 8 a.m. to like 2 p.m.
Okay. Sunday hours closed?
Sunday, they most likely will not be open. This will not be an urgent care or a walk-in facility. It'll be staffed with doctors with appointments.
Okay. Thank you. No further questions, Mr. Chairman.
Any other questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none. Good. Nobody here.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve application 23-054 with the condition that we receive cross-access approval subject to our town attorney's approval also.
Second.
All in favor?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good
Good
night.
day.
Who seconded? Pick somebody. Next application is application 23054 of DME Electrical Contracting Service, Inc., property located in West Babylon. Name and address for the record.
974 Little East Neck Road. My name is Dennis Madonia.
Okay. And do you affirm to tell the truth?
Yes.
Okay.
I was looking at that picture. That wasn't my property.
Oh. For the record, we have a Planning Division memo dated April 27, 2023, Environmental Control memo dated May 1st, 2023. If approved, this application will not result in significant impact. A survey by Spaces Architecture dated 3/11, no year there, I don't know, 3/11. Tax map acting as an area map, and,
Chairman, we have 7 photographs.
okay, would you like to tell us about the application?
Yeah, I believe it's for the variance for the sign location, and it's been approved in the past, and I believe it's a five-year cycle.
Can be.
Can be. Or it's a 2-year. I'm not sure.
It varies. It was a 5-year cycle, but
Right.
that expired in 2020.
You know what? We never got notification of that.
Yeah, you
That was
don't.
during COVID, and
We don't send out notification. You have to keep track of it.
is that right?
Yeah. So
Oh,
who's your
that's my
secretary?
responsibility.
It's yours?
How'd you wind up here tonight?
I got notification. But, yeah, no, I didn't realize that. So it should be on my calendar. I didn't understand that to be the way it worked.
Okay.
But, I mean, you can see it's a beautiful piece of property.
Very well kept.
Yeah,
It is. But we need you in compliance,
I understand that.
consistently. All right? So I think I'm going to do 3 years this time.
Yeah? Well, listen, I can't argue with you, but I was going to ask for the 5-year again. But,
We'll start at 3, and then we'll go back up to 5.
okay, so now it's my responsibility from this date, 3 years from now.
Well, he'll receive it in the,
You'll get the decision in the mail, and that will tell you the expiration date on it.
Okay, but then I got to come before for a variance again, right?
Yes.
For renewal.
once it,
Wouldn't you have to notify me for that?
It's not our responsibility to notify you. You have to keep track of it.
Okay, all right,
Okay.
we're all good?
Yeah, for understand? Okay.
All
all
right,
right,
thank you.
wait,
Wait.
1 year. All right, I make a motion to approve application 23-054 for 3 years.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Do that.
Wait, this one too.
I didn't. Oh, did I do that?
Too late.
Don't worry about it. Next application is application 23050 of A&D Maintenance, Inc., property located in Wyandanch.
Evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Joseph F. Bazell, Blanda, and Visconti, 535 Broad Hollow Road, Suite B4 in Melville, attorneys for the applicant.
For the record, we have a Planning Division memo dated May 1st, 2023, Environmental Control memo dated May 3rd, 2023. There's a couple of things here. You have a copy of that, Mr. Bazell? I guess you would.
I have the, hang on, I got the planning memo.
Did you you get environmental control?
I have environmental control.
Okay. And the fire marshal's report dated May 4th, 2023 has a valid permit. A survey by Daniel Velasco dated July 5th, 2016, tax map acting as an area map, and,
Mr. Chairman, we have 3 photographs.
okay, would you like to tell us about the application?
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Chairman. The application is seeking renewal of a special permit to continue use as a public garage and outside storage pursuant to ZBA approvals which go back to 1995. One thing I'll note is it lists a parking variance in 2016. This board issued an approval which bifurcated the relief, granting the special exception and the outside storage for a term of 3 years, but granting the parking variance without a term limitation. When the application was renewed in 2019, the parking relief wasn't on it. It wasn't necessary. It was approved flat out in 2016. I'll turn in copies of those approvals. The premises is at the southeast corner of Wyandanch Avenue and what used to be King Street. It's irregularly somewhat Z-shaped. It has 99,132 square feet. Its access is solely on Wyandanch Avenue. It is located in the Wyandanch Avenue GA Industrial Corridor District. The building is 20,000 square feet. It's not been enlarged since before the original approval was issued back in 95. It's the same use as going back to 95. Outside storage has been on all the prior approvals as of well. It was the approvals that I have copies on. My system was hacked, so getting the approvals on my system going back before around 2004, they're just, I don't have those records, but it was renewed many times, including in 2004, 2006, 2009, 2011, 2013, 2016, which is one of the approvals I handed the board, and 2019. The operation is the same. The outside storage is the same, vehicles awaiting repairs in the same location on the site. The applicant has put a lot of money into the site over the years to keep to, as far as upkeep, $28,000 in 2018. They've repaved. They've put various other improvements around as well. Along the way, the end of King Street was abandoned. That little area was a site which was accumulating garbage, litter, and debris, and the property was abandoned, and my client now has it. And the conditions the debris conditions have now been eliminated. The surrounding area, other than to the south, is industrial. That's the Wyandanch area corridor. There are other automotive uses on Wyandanch Avenue. The planning memo notes Bob Wire. That came up in 2019, but that was late December 2019. By the time we got it, it was almost Christmas, and then the world went COVID crazy in early 2020. But we have filed a Bob Wire application at this point, and it is in with the planning board under review. The Bob Wire was there when my client bought the property. It was there at the time of every renewal. It is not adjacent to the residential homes. It is only on Wyandanch Avenue and adjacent to the other industrial properties. We respectfully request that the next renewal be for a period of 5 years. We have consistently renewed this approval since going back to the mid-90s, and the site is the same in all of those years.
Okay. So if we were to approve this, we would condition it with either the approval of the barbed wire or the removal of the barbed
Yeah,
wire?
that's acceptable. The application is in.
Okay.
It's up to planning board at this point.
Okay. I really have no other questions. Any other questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? No? What are these guys? Okay. For the record, I will make a motion to approve application 23050 for a period of 4 years with a condition on the face of the CO that the barbed wire either be legalized or removed.
Second.
Oh, covenants and restrictions have been filed, right?
Yeah, they were filed a long, long time
Long
ago.
ago, okay. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a great night.
Not that I'm aware of. I believe the first week in June would be the next available date to re-advertise.
Repost. It just said sign, is it just for the sign?
Yeah, they didn't post the sign.
They didn't post the sign, so do they have to re-advertise and notice? It's just a sign? Okay, so they need like 2 weeks. So it's either the 18th or,
Or
the 4th, we're off on the 4th too, right?
or June 8th.
June 8th? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, application 21060 of G&J Best Way Auto Repair. That application is going to be adjourned until May 18th.
June.
Okay.
June.
Or June 8th, no, May 18th,
May, sorry.
2023.
We have an adjourned case.
Okay, is anybody here on that application? No, there's not. I should have done that in the beginning of the meeting. Might help.
Yeah, we're all slacking.
Okay, next application is application 22249 of 995 East Booker Corp., property located in Wyandanch.
Hi, good evening, Board. My name is Stephen Affelt. My office is at 250 Patchogue Gampeg Road, East Patchogue, New York.
And do you affirm to tell the truth?
I do.
For the record, we have a planning division memo dated April 21st, 2023. We have two photographs. Environmental control memo dated April 25th, 2023. There's a couple of items on here. You should have a copy of that was in there. Tax map acting as an area map. A survey by Thomas Zawala, dated May 16th, 2022. A letter and then about 6 photographs from Rosa Parks Civic Association. They are not in favor of the application. And
Chairman, we have 5 photographs and a site plan by Stephen Affelt, dated March 11, 2022.
what would you like to tell us about the application?
Well, this is the second time we've been here. On the last hearing on March 16th, we were asked to relocate a egress window well in our basement from the side yard to the rear yard. And subsequently, we activated a different variance requirement by mitigating one. So we're here with the same basic application, just the relocation of the egress window well. Yes.
Oh, I think I did that. Oh, yeah. Do you have the affidavit of posting?
No, we don't. We never received a second sign, so I think we would probably need to either, I guess, come back for another adjournment or something.
Sign wasn't posted for 10 days, we can't hear the application.
Exactly. So, I guess we can pick up another sign at the zoning board, because we didn't receive the last one.
All right, so we're going to adjourn this application then to 5/18. Okay, that's in 2 weeks. That should give you ample time to have it up for the required 10 days.
It's 10 regular days, not 10 business days, right?
Yeah, it's just 10 days. right?
Perfect.
All right.
It's your responsibility to come to the zoning office to pick up a sign.
It's funny, though, he did come, and he didn't get it, so, I'm sorry, but I wasn't on any of the correspondence. I'm not the applicant, I'm just on behalf of him, so I can't say whether it came in the mail or not.
Yeah, well, it's, you guys got it, they're here 5 days a week, so.
Yep.
Okay,
So we will, I guess, see each other on the 18th?
that's correct.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
This concludes the live streaming of our meeting. We will now go finish up with the rest of our agenda.